ridiculous. Hopefully it's worth it. It's so gross and mucky. I'm having regrets about not wearing booties. Okay, just like a quick tip, it's nice to be able to go hands-free if you need to. You can see my kites here. It's also easier to manage the board if you like need a second to tighten your harness or whatever. I've got my leash attached. Notice it's also attached to my bar. You don't really want your bar like flapping around and stuff because the lines could get tangled if you're not managing the bar as well while you're walking out to wherever you need a drift launch. Just things to keep in mind and little tricks and tips. There we go.
I'll start by unhooking my bar and flipping the kite over. Then I'm going to attach the bar to me so that way it doesn't drift away while I undo the lines. As I'm unwinding the lines, I'm walking upwind, so that way the lines drift downwind of the kite and don't get tangled around themselves. Once the lines are out, I can undo my leash. It's time to drift launch. I like to dunk one side of the kite so that it doesn't lift off the water. Once it's all the way out, it's just like doing a regular water launch off the water with your kite. You can see my lines are a bit tangled, but I'll fix that in the shallows.
I got my lines untangled! That might be for another video. It's a little bit advanced. If your lines are tangled, maybe just try and get... anyway, out on the river now, and let's go have a session. Phew! Land in the water, so enjoy watching. I get my kite down, I like to girth hitch it to my harness because then I can kind of move around and have it not take off. You could kind of like tie it off like you're gonna do self-rescue, but then it gets all messy, so I'll pull the kite to me and kind of let the lines go and then wrap the lines up from there. Here's the tie off. So I pulled the kite to me and then I actually clip my safety leash to the kite. And so then I can take my safety leash off my bar and roll up my bar. have to say something I really love about my Nash kites, and yes, I'm walking in the muck. They have a really good string here. Technically it's a pump leash. As an instructor, I find myself using it a lot to clip my leash to it. So when I'm like walking upwind with a student or something, it makes it a lot easier. It takes the pressure off of me. And honestly, it takes the worry out of like, what if I drop the kite? So if you're still at the stage where you find yourself walking upwind a lot, definitely get yourself a kite that has a nice big leash loop to it, because then you can go hands-free. It's not gonna fly away. I clip my bar to it as well. If your bar gets away from you, it can get really tangled. So keep your bar with you, clip it to yourself, hold it if you need to, but it's great. I don't have to hold it so I can talk to you guys. I'm just slowly walking back through the muck, giving my kite a nice bath. Fortunately, I'm too short to hold it out of the water. Can we talk about how awesome my board is? Who doesn't want a board that looks like that? Just gotta navigate through these bushes here. There we go. Oh, don't catch the wings. Ah! Okay. Right. Made it to the top. Got my kite out to dry. There's a lot of ways to do these things. I'm sure somebody's gonna disagree with me, say that they know how to do it better. Maybe you've heard differently, but at the end of the day, just figure out what works for you and make sure it's safe, and then like do that. If you did have to drag your kite through the mud like I did, make sure you give it a little bath or let it dry out. And what I'll do is I'll actually unroll my lines and re-roll them, because I want to make sure they're packed up really nice, so the next time I get my lines out, I'm not frustrated. Thanks for coming along. If you can learn some independence, some skills that are going to get you out in situations that aren't perfect, then that opens up a lot of opportunities for you to get out on the water like today. Go learn how to drift launch and be safe self-landing, and make sure that if you come into the beach and nobody's there, you'll be good to go. And then you'll get a lot more sessions like I just did.